You are never going to get rich renting out your time. That single tweet by Naval Ravikant forced me to rethink everything I knew about hard work. We see it everywhere, people working their souls off for years, yet saying exactly where they started. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about a lack of growth, a lack of recognition, and the feeling of being stuck on a treadmill. If hard work was the only variable, the world would look very different. But the truth is, hard work is necessary but insufficient. To actually move the needle, you need a multiplier. You need leverage. Let's understand leverage from the example of Alex, who is a physics teacher. Alex has a physical classroom where he teaches 30 students every hour. He takes 5 such lectures every single day. By doing so, he is able to teach a maximum of 150 students. But if he wants to teach more students, he has to work for more hours, which is a physical limitation because everybody has 24 hours in a day. But if Alex records the same lecture and uploads it to YouTube, it can be watched by 30 students, 300 students, or 3 million students. Basically, there is no upper limit. Here, we can observe that by recording the lecture, Alex is able to reach more students even when he is sleepy. This right here is an example of leverage. Hence, leverage is a force multiplier for your judgment. It is any system or tool that allows you to disconnect your output from your input. Going back to Naval Ravikant, he explains 3 types of leverage. First type of leverage is labor. This is the oldest form of leverage where people work for you. It is permission based because you need people to agree to follow you. And it requires you to manage and lead all of them, which can be extremely messy and sometimes unproductive. The second type of leverage Naval talks about is capital. Capital is stored labor, which means it represents work that has already been done in the past by someone somewhere and that has turned into money. When you're using capital, you are not just spending cash. You are commanding that stored work to work on your behalf today. It is a permission-based leverage because unlike starting a YouTube channel, you usually need someone else like a bank, an investor, or a wealthy individual to give you green light to use a large amount of it. Once you have it, your capital acts as a force multiplier for your judgment, allowing a single right choice to have a massive automated impact that isn't limited by how many hours you can personally stay awake. The third form of leverage that Naval talks about are products with no marginal cost of replication. This includes media, movies, books, and code. It's permissionless leverage, which means you do not need a gatekeeper like an investor or a bank. You can create a video today and it can be seen by 10th person or 10 millionth person with no extra effort or cost. That is the zero marginal cost of replication. Think of a software developer who writes multiple lines of code to solve a problem. This software works 24/7 and needs no one to approve the use of it. And an infinite number of people can use it with a very less or zero cost of replication. The third form of leverage, media and code, is what created modern explosion of wealth. Look at the wealthiest people today. Almost all of them built their fortune with code-based leverage. Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, and Larry Page didn't just build companies. They built software systems that work 24/7 for billions of people simultaneously. Then look at the shift in the entertainment and education-based industries. People like Joe Rogan, Mr. Beast, or Tanmay Bhatt have changed their lives by media-based leverage. They record a thought or performance once, and it becomes an asset that earns money and influence forever for them. Even the most highly valued companies on earth follow this logic. Google and Meta are essentially massive machines selling products with zero marginal cost of replication. Once the search engine or the social network is built, adding one more user costs them almost nothing, but the value they gain is massive. You see the difference clearly. Compare this new world billionaires with the old world. A real estate tycoon or a factory owner is leveraging capital and labor. They have to manage thousands of employees and maintain physical buildings. But a software founder or a creator can reach the same scale with a fraction of the messiness because their leverage is digital and permissionless. To apply this knowledge to your own life, you need to understand what Naval calls specific knowledge. These are the skills that feel like play to you but work to others. The core idea is that if a skill can be taught in a traditional classroom, it can be taught to anyone else. And if it can be taught to anyone, you are easily replaceable. To build true leverage, you need an edge. Specific knowledge is found by pursuing a genuine curiosity and passion rather than whatever is hot right now. If you can learn it through an apprenticeship or self-directed obsession, it becomes a skill that is uniquely yours. Once you identify this edge, you can use code or media to leverage it, turning your unique insight into a scalable asset that the world cannot easily replace. Many people ask, what if I don't have any specific knowledge? The truth is, specific knowledge is not something that you're born with. It is something that you discover by paying attention to your own obsessions. To find yours, Look back at what you were doing when you were a kid, or what do you do now when you have free time? What are the topics that you can talk about for us? What are the problems that you can solve effortlessly but frustrate others? Specific knowledge is found at the intersection of your natural talents and the things that you genuinely enjoy doing. It's specific because it is unique to your personality and background. If you still feel like you do not have an edge, your job right now is to explore. Try different things. Write a blog, build a small project, or learn a new tool. Specific knowledge is built through iterative trial and error. Do not find it by thinking, you find it by doing. As you try more things, you'll notice that you are naturally better at some than others. Double down on those. Remember, the goal is to become the best in the world at being you, because no one can compete with you at being yourself. The biggest obstacle today to building leverage is our tendency to consume rather than create. Most people spend their time on social media being leveraged by others, watching the videos and using the software that someone else built. Break out of the linear trap, you have to flip the script. Every hour you spend consuming is an hour that you aren't using to build your own assets. You don't need to be an expert to start. You just need to start documenting your journey of building a simple tool that solves your problems. This is a shift from becoming a spectator to a strategist. You begin the process of building the pipes that will eventually work for you while you sleep. To summarize everything that we have discussed, the problem, renting out your time is a linear trap. Hard work is necessary, but it is insufficient on its own. The solution, you need leverage to decouple your results from your time. The tools, while labor and capital are powerful, they are permission-based. For most of us, code and media are the ultimate permissionless leverages. The foundation, you multiply these leverages by using your specific knowledge, a unique edge that no one can compete with. The goal isn't just to work harder, it's to work in a way that creates asymmetric results. Find your edge, pick your leverage, stop playing a game where your efforts has a ceiling. Thank you.